What's up, moguls? T.R. Burns here. And listen, I meet so many people, and if I see them year to year, week to week, I'm like, yo, what's up with the business? What's up with this? What's up with the dream? Oh, no, I ain't got the money. I don't have the this and then the third. I'm like, yo, start where you are at. Listen, I started my restaurant empire with rent money in a church with straight up. I didn't even have a license to have a selling food out of a church, right? Real talk. I had to do what I had to do because no one would help me. No one would give me a loan. Nobody would, give me a building. Didn't have credit to buy this and buy that. So I took $1,000, right? And that $1,000 started my weekend kitchen, which started the empire of Food Geeks Eatery, Hot Plate Eatery, Vegan Soul Company, Blanco Taco, and all these different other things, my food trucks, and even what we're doing today on Influence TV Network and YouTube came from that $1,000, right? But I got to a place where a job couldn't do it for me. And guess what? Sometimes family won't do it for you. And people, sometimes they're not in a position to even help you with just I'll support you. So you got to make it happen. So I looked at myself and I said, hey, I'm going to take this risk on me. I'm going to jump out on me. I risk on everybody else. So I took this $1,000 that for my rent, the last $1,000 I had. And I said, hey, I got me a stove. I got me a griddle for Walmart, a fryer, a little tabletop fryer. Back then we had credit card machines. Got me a credit card machine. Real talk, like back then we had Magic Jack. We didn't have virtual phone lines that worked through our iPhone. iPhone wasn't even out back then, right? Had a Magic Jack line, and it rung to the little room we had in the church called a kitchen. And I put flyers out, and boom, my weekend kitchen was born. On every Friday, Saturday, we was pushing out hundreds of food orders out of a church, right? The back of a church room, right? I started where I was at. And I want to tell you that. Start where you at. What do you have? You might not can get a food truck, but you got a little kitchen. Start selling dinners. Start, start making videos with your phone. See, a lot of time what happens, the internet make you lose that hustle and that courage to say, I'm going to start where I need this camera. We watching so many tutorials on cameras and light. Instead of saying, hey, this $200 or whatever, $2,000 phone in our hand, this is our studio right there. Let's start. Start where you at. Look at what you got in your house. All right. I had my wife working with us. She making, shout out to, I had another woman that I loved and she would work with us, and just people from the church came in and saw what we was doing and jumping in. And real talk, out of that, me starting where I was at, it started a revolution of entrepreneurs in my church. People started opening business because they saw me do it. So I was a chain breaker, cooking businesses, baking businesses, book writing, and so on came out of me saying, I'm going to take my rent money and I ain't going to let nobody tell me no more. I'm telling myself yes. So you need to start where you at. What do you got in your hand? A lot of times we don't want to sow because we don't think it's enough to start to sow. Start with what you got. Start with what you have. Start in your house. Start cooking a cooking show in your house on TikTok or whatever. Start where you are at. Because guess what? One thing we can't waste no longer, moguls, is time. And I ain't wasting that no longer. I done heard no. And guess what? Sometimes people tell you no to try to discourage you, but I ain't let nobody discourage me no longer. For years, I've been doing it just like I did with that $1,000. You don't want to give to me, bank? I'll find the money. I'm a hustler. So you got to know as a person, when you got to operate like a boss at a business in an office, and you got to know when you got to go back to that hustle mode. And I ain't talking about nothing illegal. I'm talking about when what's in my house I don't need. Oh, I don't need that. That's going on Facebook Marketplace. All right, it's $250 right now. I got what else? That's another $100. I'm gonna get this money that I need to start. I'm going to start somewhere. What do I have in my house? See, in the word of God, there was a woman that needed help from the prophet. And he said, go to your house, get your pots, what you have, and bring it to me. And the miracle of God came that it started to fill with oil, and the oil kept flowing as much pots she kept bringing. Sometimes you got to go to your house. Stop worrying about what somebody ain't doing. And start right where you are at. So that's my message to you, my motivation to you today It's like, how long you gonna sit at the job saying next year? Oh, when I get this bill paid, then another bill come. How long you gonna keep on wasting your tax return on sneakers and stuff and paying all your bills off? Why pay all your bills off if you're gonna have to keep on doing it? Why don't you invest that money in a residual, something that's gonna create a residual stream of income that you don't have to worry about bills and 9-to-5 jobs no longer. Start where you are at. Get your kids on it. Get your wife on it. Get your husband on it. And block out who say all that hateful stuff and all that talking about you stuff. Because guess what? You got one life to live. Don't die full, die empty. So today you need to start where you are. Start that business, start that family. Stop waiting for the right time to get married. If you love each other, you've been through marriage counseling, you're ready to get married, go get married. What matters is who's there is God and you. And that's what matters. Have a wedding later. You're prolonging, procrastinating on things because you're looking at people and what they have and what they did. And truthfully, our world has been photoshopped. If you don't know it by now, 90% of what you see is not the truth. It is not real. People are not balling like that. People are not doing all these things effortlessly. They're sharing their end result, but they're not sharing the middle and the beginning. And I'm telling you today, start where you are at. All right, guys, moguls, we love you today, but you got to start.